Let's talk about a sound that millions of us are swimming in every single day, but one we almost always try our best to just ignore. I'm talking about the constant, sometimes overwhelming noise of our cities.
You know that feeling, right? You're walking down the street, maybe you're just sitting at home trying to relax, and it hits you. That wall of sound, the sirens, the traffic, the construction. It's this non-stop symphony that can make you feel completely stressed out.
But here's the thing. What if I told you that feeling isn't just you being annoyed? The science is really clear on this. All that noise is causing actual, measurable harm to both your mind and your body.
So let's get into what makes this such a huge, but weirdly unheard of problem.
First, let's be clear on what we're talking about. Urban noise isn't just, a loud party next door. It's any unwanted sound from human activity. It's the rumble of engines, the jackhammer down the block, that constant background hum that we've all just kind of been taught to accept as normal.
To put this into perspective, the World Health Organization, the WHO, has some pretty clear guidelines. They say noise starts getting annoying at around 55 decibels, but once it hits 70 decibels, it becomes actively harmful to our health. Now for the scary part. Most of our cities are operating above that harmful level, all day, every day.
Okay, so let's look at the direct consequences. This isn't just about wishing things were a little quieter. This is about what's actually happening inside your brain and body because of the noise. And this is absolutely crucial. Chronic noise exposure basically keeps our bodies in a constant state of high alert. It just floods our systems with the stress hormone cortisol, which makes it nearly impossible to really focus. Over time, this raises our risk for anxiety and depression, it messes with our sleep, and it leads to this deep mental fatigue. And for kids, the impact is even more stark. Studies show it actually lowers academic performance in schools that are in really noisy areas.
And hey, if you think this sounds like an exaggeration, the WHO puts it about as bluntly as possible. They say noise isn't just a nuisance. It is a full-blown public health issue, and it's one with consequences that ripple out across our entire society.
But here's where the story gets even more complex. The burden of all this noise, well, it's not shared equally. Some communities get hit with a much heavier acoustic load than others.
Let's break down what we could call the noise gap. On one side, you have neighborhoods located right next to highways, often with poorly insulated schools and hospitals. These tend to be lower-income communities. And on the other side, you've got areas with more parks, more green space, access to better sound-blocking building materials, and even officially designated quiet zones. It creates this whole other layer of inequality in our cities.
Okay, so the problem is clear, it's serious, and it's unequal. But, and this is a big but, the good news is it's not unsolvable. In fact, a lot of the solutions can be woven right into the very fabric of our cities.
Urban designers have this really powerful three-step playbook. First, you absorb the sound. Think green walls, sound-absorbing pavement, better materials. Second, you redirect it. You can actually orient new buildings to act like shields, blocking sound paths. And third, you designate. You create and legally protect quiet zones, parks, courtyards, so people have a guaranteed place to find some sonic relief.
Now, this isn't just a job for city planners and architects. Every single one of us actually has a role to play in turning down the volume. So this is where you come in. You can actually start by gathering data yourself. There are free apps that can measure noise levels right in your own neighborhood. And once you have that info, you can advocate for better public policies, you can join local design workshops, and maybe most importantly, you can just talk about it. Raise awareness that noise isn't an inconvenience, it's a genuine health issue.
So, when you boil it all down, the key takeaway is this. Urban noise might feel like this invisible force, something we just have to live with. But its solutions are the exact opposite. They are visible, they're tangible, and they are absolutely within our reach if we decide to make quiet a priority.
So let's end with this one thought. We shape our cities, and then our cities shape us. If we could actually design a city that cared about our well-being, what would it sound like? If our cities could speak, what would we really want them to say?